This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
You all ready for this? Dun, 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 dun. No.
Y'all,
Just
this
stop.
is a sham. Welcome to DBL. It's Thursday, October 14th. I'm Jeff here with my friends Erica and Tori. Feeling good?
Yes. Woo!
I like that. All right, here we go. A couple of Hollywood actors are speaking out about their body image. First, Jonah Hill. His weight loss has fluctuated over the years. He has been open about his body insecurities in the past, and he recently posted a message to his fans on Instagram saying, quote, "I kindly ask that you not comment on my body, good or bad. I want to politely let you know that it's not helpful and doesn't feel good." And Kumail Nanjiani has also admitted, look how great he looks there.
You're not supposed to say that.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's uncomfortable. Just if you watch, let me finish this. He's uncomfortable about talking about his body. He got a lot of attention after he posted these photos on social media back in 2019. And he told GQ he got ripped to be believable as a Marvel action hero, but said he also developed body dysmorphia, meaning he found out he was looking at all the insecurities that he had about his body. I said he looks great because I know him as Dinesh from Silicon Valley, right? And he's just a skinnier guy.
Right.
And to develop that, it takes commitment, and I commend him for that because I know how hard that is. But I guess you shouldn't comment about it.
He didn't directly. He said it makes him uncomfortable, and I can understand. I appreciate that he spoke out about his body dysmorphia,
Right.
because that happens when it happened to me when I started doing fitness competitions. My body changed very rapidly over the course of like 3 to 6 months, and then yes, you focus on different things like issues that you had in terms of like body confidence and stuff completely change. You look back on photos and you're like, what did I think was wrong with me? You know, like things like that.
Okay.
But I think these two are very separate because in Jonah's case, he wasn't displaying his body as like a work of art type thing.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And I'm not saying anything bad about Kumail. But I think those are two different examples. Like people made Jonah's body a topic of conversation where Kumail made his own body a topic of conversation.
He was putting out like
he was like in Men's
labor, so to speak.
Fitness magazine, you know, stuff like that.
GQ and all that, talking about it. Yeah, I agree. Jonah Hill's interesting because he was once on Kimmel, and he comes out, and Jimmy Kimmel goes, "Oh man, you smell great. I didn't expect a guy like you to smell good." And Jonah Hill goes, everyone started laughing, and Jonah Hill goes, "That really hurt my feelings. Why would you say that?" And everyone kind of thought it was a joke, but he's like, "I'm trying hard not to take that as a shot. What does a guy like me not smell?" And at first I thought it would just reappeared recently. And I think Jonah Hill just might be a really awesomely sensitive dude that's like, don't do that. I think he's trying to say, I have boundaries and you're crossing them because we can just talk about fat people like that or obese people or heavyweight people without any type of nuance or safety in the words. And I love that he's a guy doing it.
Great point, because these are two guys we're talking about, right?
I appreciate that, and I like that he's like, it's not helping, boundary, stop.
Is that indicative of sensitivity, though? Because if a woman were to say that and stand up for herself, we would be applauding her for
her
taking
strength.
agency. So the idea that like, oh, it might have hurt his feelings, like, isn't that him just articulating his thoughts? I don't feel that
it's sensitive.
Necessarily needs to be a sensitive.
And maybe I added that with my social head, climate head of boys saying that are sensitive, when in fact, that's a really strong thing to say. Interesting.
How about on the flip side to that? I know we're going to move on, but just him taking it the wrong way. Because you know when people like ad lib, I just feel like, again, I'm just spitballing. If you said that to Will Ferrell, he would roll with that. If I said that to you, hey, Tori, I don't expect you to smell like that today. You would roll with that. You know what I mean? But how you're feeling that day and what you see in the mirror, you might take it a different way. Do you see what I'm saying?
I think he gets shot. He takes shots. People take shots at him all.
And so he's probably tired of it.
He's just done. He's just done with it.
Totally get it. Totally get it. All right, let's move on. Daniel Craig says he likes to go to gay bars. Speaking on a podcast, I believe it was Bruce Bozzi's podcast. The 007 actor, a little inside joke there, admitted he used to get into fights at, quote, hetero bars during his single years. So he started going to gay bars in order to avoid all that aggressive masculinity. Let's listen.
It would just be a good place to go. Everybody was chilled. You didn't really have to sort of state your sexuality.
Right.
It was okay. And it was a very safe place to be. And I could meet girls there because there were a lot of girls who were there for exactly the same reason I was there.
All right, what do you guys think about this? Because I've been to some gay bars in Boys Town in LA.
Yeah.
They go off. They go off. They have a good time over there. They
It's
have
a
great
good time. I did a lot of stand-up in gay bars, and it was always like such a kind, good audience. Although I think more pity was involved in the laughter.
I would lean towards the latter myself.
But I think what I love about this, again, very similar. A male, masculine, what does he represent? 007, James Bond, is comfortable going into a gay bar and enjoys that lack of masculinity, of heteronormative masculinity. I think that's pretty open for James Bond to say, and I kind of dug it.
I hate everything about this.
Why?
I think, first of all, to imply that because a person's gay, they don't have a masculinity, or they don't have, that they can't, and also that they can't be aggressive on the flip side to that, is just not a message that we need to be receiving in 2021. And also, I do recall about 10 years ago, a lot of gay bars and establishments across the country were asking for women not to have their bachelorette parties there because it was a situation where it's like, this is our space. Now, I'm not saying that blanket across the board, because I certainly have had more than many nights in gay bars, and I really had a lot of fun being out with my friends. But at the end of the day, when you're starting to basically go into an establishment, and I learned this kind of the hard way. I went to this establishment. It was a very historical establishment in Chicago, and a lot of the men, mainly men who went there, had been going there, were like older, like in their 50s and stuff. And this guy came up to me and he's like, "Why are you here?" And at first I was like super offended. What do you mean, why am I here? And he's like, "You have all of these other options everywhere." He's like, "This has been my safe space." And he wasn't just talking to me personally. He was talking to the group of women that I was with. And he's like, "You see how small this space is?" And he's like, this is our safe space." And he's like, "I'm not saying that you're not welcome here." He's like, "But if you're going to be here as a guest." And that sat with me for a moment, because I'm like, thinking of my safe spaces and where I feel the most free to be myself. And if someone came in and decided that I'm here because I feel safer here, and I'm also going to put this narrative out that this is the reason why, then I think I would feel some type of way about them changing my space. So
entering my safe space for their good.
Yes. So I don't like the narrative behind it. I know it probably doesn't run that deep, but I just feel like this whole conversation feels very antiquated and backwards in 2021. However, I'm not a part of the LGBTQIA community, and therefore I may not be the person to speak appropriately to this. I'm just simply telling you from my experience and from my ears, I don't feel right about it.
I don't know how to follow that. I was going to say, I'm a fan of Vanderpump Rules. It's my guilty pleasure. Tom Tom opened up. I live close. I visited Tom Tom. I wasn't trying to step on anybody's toes.
But it's true. The narrative you're saying is like, even again on this show, I just learned my narrative that I said. I was like, yeah, I like that narrative and all that. That's painting a wide brush on an entire group of people. And I agree with you.
I would like to talk more, but we're out of time. Coming up on DBL, Katie Couric admits to altering an interview, whatever, alerting, altering, same. To protect RGB. Does this destroy her credibility? And Meghan Trainor's son goes viral. You don't want to miss the story behind this adorable video.
I've been doing this for a half.
Closed captioning provided by.
She's right, though.
But it's good that there's two sides.
Yeah, but you could. Well, yeah, we'll keep talking about
I
this.
just think it's interesting, really quickly, what's so interesting about being on the show is if you don't have an ego, which I clearly don't because I get made fun of all day, but I also would say if you don't have an ego, you can actually listen, learn, and move on in real time. And that's sort of what we're hoping our show does for all of you. I learned 2 things on this show, and I literally in the past half hour, so thank you.
Well, to me, especially the idea of like where there's, it's devoid of masculinity.
Yeah.
It's like,
Right.
Are
As
you
if
serious?
The gays can't be masculine in any kind of way.
Like, it's just, I don't know. And then it's also like, it feels like a little like placated. It just didn't feel right.
It didn't sit right with you at all. Yeah.
That was just my feeling.
Yeah. Well, I mean, is that bad if he's single?
He said he just did that when he was younger.
And single. What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
To say he's.
I don't know.
Fights all the time at certain bars, and so he would go there because he didn't get in fights at that.
Isn't there a certain truth to what he's saying, or is it totally insensitive?
No, I'm not saying what he said was wrong. I do think the part about the masculinity at the, I don't want to get it wrong, but
Toxic or
it felt like a little condescending.
But
Aggressive
So what I heard
masculine.
was when he said masculine at a bar, I think of a guy in a Jets jersey, like, go Jets, or I just watched a UFC fight, now I'm tough. That's what I think about. That's what, when he said masculine, I thought about that guy.
Right.
You know, when I think of a gay bar, quote unquote, I don't think of that guy.
But is that a social, is that a pastiche or whatever put into your head that none of those people could be varying degrees of masculinity and aggression? Okay. Well,
London too. It's interesting to think about. You know, I think that there's some aggressive bars in London where people get in fights.
No,
a lot.
So
like that.
I'm insensitive by thinking when you say masculine, I think of that guy?
no, it's a social construct of what a
But isn't
masculine
that
man.
true?
No, masculine can be anything. It could be a really gay man is a really masculine.
When we talk about
man.
we're using it in terms of fighting. He said fighting. At a,
It takes two to fight, so like.
Interesting conversation in the breaks. You guys got to tune in. Welcome back to DBL. Katie Couric is being accused of having an agenda in her reporting. So in her upcoming memoir, Katie recalls asking the late Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg about how she felt about NFL players taking a knee during the national anthem in protest. Here's what RBG said at the time.
What do I think? I think it's really dumb of them. Would I arrest them for doing it? No. I think it's dumb and disrespectful. I would have the same answer if you asked me about flag burning.
But it turns out Katie said she left some things out, like RBG saying that those who kneel are showing, quote, contempt for a government that has made it possible for their parents and grandparents to live a decent life. Katie said she did it to protect RGB, but some are saying that this proves that journalists have an agenda. I mean, is that not... Do people don't believe that they have an agenda?
Oh,
I mean, I totally believe certain networks have an agenda, right?
I think even unbiased subconsciously have an
Absolutely.
agenda. Absolutely. Even if you're saying I don't. Here's the thing, too, about Ruth Bader Ginsburg I want to make clear. She then publicly apologized to Colin Kaepernick about what she said on the Katie Couric interview because she said she was ill-informed on his intent. And that was important to her for what she understood. I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying she's actually the most First Amendment pro-justice that we've ever had. In fact, when I look back on her history, she isn't. Flag burning is very free to do in this country. She doesn't believe in it. That doesn't mean she wants to arrest you.
I actually think it's against the law.
It isn't. Texas v.
not?
Johnson allows it. It is a protected part of freedom of speech. It is an expression, and you are allowed to burn the flag.
Really?
Correct. Now, she doesn't agree with that, so she's not the most openly First Amendment person. But I did want to say that she publicly apologized. Do I disagree with her? 1,000%. I don't have to agree with everything Ruth Bader Ginsburg says for me to like her and respect her.
I think that's the important note to take away is that people feel like, you know, once you have invested in someone and you have an interest in following them for whatever reason, that then in turn they're supposed to give you everything that you think, feel, and want to receive. But if you're really a fan or if you idolize someone in some way, then you have to be able to roll with the totality of who they are. Now, in this situation, I think this is a really great example of evolution of thought. People will say something like, just let's take actually, I'm not even going to go down that road. I was going to go down a road I don't want to go.
Detour!
But, you say something, you're like, I believe in this in January. And then in February, you get more information. In March and in December, you're like, oh, wait, I don't believe that anymore because based on all this information I've received and my experiences, that has made me change my beliefs. But now we live in a time that's like, I said that in January, everybody heard me say that in January. If I say something different in December, everybody's gonna call me, as opposed to just being like, yeah, I did say something different in January. But you know what? I grew since January, and that evolution is in me because I am a growing person. You wanna know why I'm a growing person? Because I'm not a dying person. Thank you.
Snap.
That's twice. How am I going to follow that?
I'm so glad I went first.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with what you're saying, and I hate that in society now, people aren't allowed to change their views or opinions on things. You're held to what you said 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago
Jeff,
when you evolved as a person.
It is literally killing people, literally.
Yeah, that's fair. Even justices, even Supreme Court justices can change.
Great point, Tori. Great button. Coming up on DBL, which celebrity would Meghan Trainor do absolutely anything for? Our interview with the pop star and TV host is coming up next.
The tweet claims Biden's new driving tax is expected to cost you about 8 cents a mile. Get ready to pay an extra $1,200 a year. A post on Facebook reads, better contact your reps. If you drive 26,000 miles times 8 cents per mile, that's $2,080. Now get mad. Rick and BE asked the Verify team, is this accurate? Our source for this is the Infrastructure and Jobs Investment Act, which is part of the president's Build Back Better agenda. The legislation includes around $550 billion in new federal investment in America's roads and bridges, water infrastructure, resilience, internet, and more. In it is a national motor vehicle per mile user fee pilot for drivers who participate in a pilot program aimed at studying whether a per mile user fee would help improve roads. The goal here is to see if such a fee would help restore and maintain long-term solvency of the Highway Trust Fund and improve the surface transportation system. If the legislation passes, the participants in the study would record the miles they drive and pay fees based on those miles. Enrollment would be voluntary, and the participants would be reimbursed for out-of-pocket expenses. So we can verify the legislation does not include a new driving tax, as these social media posts claim.
Welcome back to DBL. She was all about that bass, but now she's all about being a mom. Earlier, we sat down with Meghan Trainor to talk all about her family and her new TV gigs. That's today's Chatting with the Stars. Meghan, welcome to DBL. We are so excited to talk to you about your upcoming projects, but first, let's talk baby. We've got to know the story behind this TikTok video with your adorable son, Riley. We have a clip. Take a look.
It's a trash bag.
I've been doing this for a half hour.
All right, where did the trash bag idea come from? And is this the silliest thing you've done to make Riley giggle? Or is there something else?
Absolutely. Honestly, my husband was taking out the trash and he started cackling, and we were like, we gotta film this. Somebody grabbed my phone, and my brother ran in and was like, but it's a trash bag. And he loved it. And it was bizarre, but anything to hear that laugh, I was like, I will do this all day.
It should be my phone
Remember
ring.
this for birthdays and holiday times, because you'll buy them a $3,000 baby entertainment center.
Garbage bag.
And they want to play with the bag and the box.
You're
so just
right.
remember.
Well, Meghan, I'm a radio girl, so I love seeing artists like yourself really following your evolution. And we know that your albums were always about self-love and embracing who you are.
Yeah, it's pretty clear. I ain't no size 2, but I can shake it like I'm supposed to do.
How has becoming a wife and mother changed your relationship with yourself?
Oh man, especially becoming a mom and being pregnant and having a C-section, and like learning what your body is capable of and how it can transform and literally give life. It was beautiful, hard, emotionally challenging, trying to love yourself all over again with a brand new body. It's made me so strong. I know that I can get through anything now because I'm like, oh, we had a C-section, like we could do anything.
Warrior.
Exactly.
Warrior.
But it's been amazing.
Exactly. Well, let's talk about your shows, because you're dipping your hands in the culinary world by hosting Top Chef Family Style.
And I was like, this better be the best cookie of all times, and it was. It was so good.
So when it comes to cooking, are you the chef in your marriage?
No, my husband cooks everything. He is just like my everything, and he's so good at cooking my food. And I'm just like, I'm not good at it. And that's what's fun about me hosting this show, is because I'm the viewer at home learning. I'm asking all the questions. I'm like, how did you make this, to like a 9-year-old kid, and they're prodigies. They're so good. It's so beautiful.
Megan, you were also the judge on Clash of the Cover Bands. Jimmy Fallon is the EP. Tell us, what is it like to work with Jimmy, and does he pull his typical antics on the show?
I love Jimmy Fallon so much. Every time I'm with him, he makes sure to say hi to all my family members. He's just like one of the kindest people in this industry. So anything he asked me to do, I will do it. And I was honored to be a part of this show. I got to judge with Esther Dean, Adam Lambert, and Twitch is our host. And we highlight all these amazing cover bands that give their whole lives to this. And our winner of the entire show gets to win some cash, and also gets to perform on The Tonight Show with Fallon. So I can't wait for that moment.
All right, if you could be in a cover band, what would it be, Megan? Who would be who would you want to be?
I would want to be Backstreet Boys. What? I want to be part of Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet Boys is good. I love it. All right, Top Chef Family Style is streaming on Peacock, and Clash of the Cover Bands airs October 13th on E! This girl is busy. Thank you so much for joining DBL, Megan. We'll be right back.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
largest airline is still trying to repair the damage after an operational meltdown over the weekend. Thousands of passengers were stranded after Southwest canceled 2,400 flights. Some social media users claim in posts shared and liked tens of thousands of times that the cancellations were caused by employees protesting against a COVID-19 vaccine mandate issued just a few days earlier. It was then echoed by some big names, including Donald Trump Jr. and comedian Chad Prather. So let's verify. Were Southwest Airlines delays caused by employees protesting against a vaccine mandate? Our sources are Southwest Airlines, the FAA, the Southwest Airlines Pilots Association, and industry analyst Brett Snyder. Last week, Southwest announced its employees need to get their COVID-19 vaccine by December 8th, citing President Biden's federal mandate. Then, on Friday, the pilots union filed a motion in federal court to stop the mandate. And a few hours later, the mass cancellations began, which prompted social media users to connect the dots. However, both Southwest and the pilots union say there was no vaccine protest. The airline claims bad weather and air traffic control delays were the root of the problem, although the FAA pushed back and said the massive delays weren't its fault. So, what really happened? The pilots union says it came down to bad planning and not a worker protest. Both pilots and flight attendant unions have complained for months that crews are stretched thin because there isn't enough staff. The head of the pilots union outright said, quote, "I can say with certainty that there are no work slowdowns or sickouts either related to the recent mandatory vaccine mandate or otherwise," unquote. And industry analyst Brett Snyder at crankyconcierge.com, who is helping stranded clients, found the meltdown coincided with what was supposed to be Southwest's biggest day of flying since the pandemic began.
Everything I've seen suggests that there's no nefarious plot by labor to disrupt operations or anything like that. Or the simplest explanation is that they messed up. Something went very wrong. It broke. And then now they're trying to put it back together again.
So there's no evidence that Southwest Airlines delays were caused by employees protesting against a vaccine mandate. In fact, other airlines like Spirit Airlines saw similar meltdowns when they tried to ramp up operations and experienced similar delays. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Don't miss a day of DBL. I am here to receive said gift. Bold debates. Come on now. Enough.
Get real.
It blows my mind.
Hot celebs.
Happy 5th anniversary.
Love a suit, by the way.
Thank you.
Seriously, Al, give her a break.
That just sounded weird, actually.
And all the laughs. Yes, Erica, feeling it. Okay, I'm done with you. I'm done. DBL is always all new every day.
Welcome back to DBL. Are you getting ready to start holiday shopping? If so, you're going to want to check out these deals that Steph showed Tori because I was sick earlier from our friends at Morning Save.
I still host the show. What do you have for us today, Stephanie?
Hey, Tori, I've got some wonderful products and even better deals, and I can't wait to share them with you. So first up, we've got the Vime Tempo Vt3 Plus smartwatch.
Okay.
It's an all-in-one smartwatch and fitness tracker. It's water resistant and it lasts up to 7 days with one charge. So normally this is as much as $100, Tori.
Right.
But we've got it for only $39, saving our viewers up to 61%. Now, Tori, let's be honest, we could all use a massage, right? Well, we've got the Parsex Deep Tissue Percussion Massager.
Whoa.
So you'll get one massage gun with all of these 6 different attachment heads like this. It's super compact, travel friendly. So normally this is as much as $149,
they're
Tori.
pricey.
But we've got it for only $39, which means you can get an at-home massage and save up to 74%. Next item, we've got Makeover Essentials on the go travel set. This little petite kit includes 10 eyeshadows, 5 lipstick shades, 1 blush, 1 liner, 1 mascara, 1 bronzer, 2 applicators, a mirror, and essential brushes, 8 of these. So normally it was $96 and now it's as much as $12. What? Saving up to 88%. Okay, and last we've got Olivia Rose Satin Sleep Set with 2-pack of towel turbans. So you'll get a matching satin eye mask, I love those so much, satin pillowcase with 2 towel turbans. So normally all of this is as much as $80. We've got it right now for only $25, Tori, saving up to 69%.
So all these products, guys, I would take in a heartbeat. Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices. You can even visit morningsave.com on your smartphone, which I'm sure you're on right now. Thank you so much, Steph.
Pretty good job, Tori. Pretty good.
Did I live up to your expectations?
Well, my products all sold out when I hosted it.
Is that true?
How are yours doing?
They're on double order, honey. We're good.
Back order. Get them now. We'll see you guys tomorrow.